Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. A turning point for the series, making Zelda the main protagonist for the first time ever, pretty sure ever, giving the series a breath of fresh air once again, after you thought we'd be kind of done with, new stuff coming out. But no, we're back again, and we're here for the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom review. So as someone who's been into the Legend of Zelda series for over 10 years now and has played a majority of the titles, Echoes of Wisdom feels like a big step forward once again for the franchise, retaining elements from entries like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but keeping a classic feeling of Zelda like Link's Awakening, like the remake or even the original, or Link to the Past, or even Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, which is a phenomenal game in itself. And that balance seemed to be perfectly handled throughout the majority of my 25 plus hour playthrough. I was going for the 100%, and I stopped up at the end because I wanted to finish it and see how the story ended. But I did a majority of the things in the game, unlocked a majority of the locations, got a majority of the echoes. I think I missed maybe 2 or 3. And there were moments that felt repetitive and brought back some memories of mishandlings in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. However, before I go into the cons, let's talk about the pros and what it did really well. Straight up, the game is fun as hell. It's a blast. I didn't really watch that many trailers beside the reveal trailer and maybe 1 or 2 after the fact, so I think that probably played a big role in my surprise when I opened up the game, and in the first 4 hours I just ran around the map in sheer awe at the size of the game and the freedom that you had. It's a complete open world game, which I don't know what I was expecting. I maybe was expecting like a Link's Awakening kind of deal where you can kind of go anywhere, but it somehow strays away from that feeling of being overwhelmed or exhausted because, oh, look, another Zelda entry, another open world game. It doesn't really feel that way, and I'm not sure if that's because of the art style, maybe the scale of the game and how GREZZO made the game look, or if they just somehow managed to create a perfect balance of linearity in the world, and it balances that very well and surprisingly well that I have to mention it. So the main thing of the game, or about the game, is literally you play as Zelda. That's the big thing. It's, oh my gosh, look, Zelda is the protagonist here. You play as her with your companion Tri, and you collect new echoes, and you can use them to do your bidding, or you can just use them as items to traverse the map. And I absolutely adore how they set this all up because it feels like every item has its use rather than just collecting a bunch of items like Pokemon, and you don't really get to use any of them. So even though I did spam beds and use water blocks for the majority of the game, and it's traversal, which I think a lot of people did, everything kind of had its own little use. The little mole guy that you get, you, for example, can dig underground and find might crystals around the map, which is kind of similar to how Koroks are hidden. And that's really cool because once you get it, you're like, okay, here's an enemy that I can use, but maybe you go to a location, you see a rock with like things all around the rock, and you're like, okay, let me pick the rock up. There's nothing there. It's just like a little dirt square on the map, and you use the mole and boom, you get a might crystal. Or even if you're above a cave and there's a cave below you and the entrance is blocked off, you can use it and you can go down and you can get into the cave. So everything kind of has its own use throughout the game. There's even like the fire blob that you can use to light torches or burn grass and use that throughout the game as well. And the sky's the limit pretty much with everything, as shocking as it is. The problem I do have with the game though is the special Link power that you get in the beginning of the game, or you have for the whole game pretty much. Basically, you get Link's Echo, and you get his sword, and his bow, and his high jump, and you get bombs as well later on. And for a limited time, you can use it. It's like a little like power up. To use it, you need to collect this like little blue dust that's around the map. And it's super overpowered and fun to use, but that's where kind of the issue lies. Not because it's just broken in that it breaks the game, but it's because as the game progressed for me, spawning in enemies to fight for you, which is like the main core mechanic of your echoes, it kind of just got tedious, and I always wanted to use the Link power-up. Not to say that you don't really get to use it a bunch, because it does refill like absurdly quick, but in the final legs of the game, all I kind of wanted to do was using the echoes to explore and then also fight. I was like, nah, I just want to use the sword and just hit stuff and not have to wait for the enemy to like attack and just waste an extra minute or 2 of just me running around. I know that's the main gimmick of the game. Use the echoes to do everything for you, whether that's walk around the map or climb or whatever, but finding the balance between the traversal with the echoes and maybe giving Zelda some sort of baseline attack, like instead of swinging a sword, she uses her staff to like bonk enemies on the head, and I know she has the spin as well, but you can't really attack with the spin. So when we get the next Zelda protagonist focused game, which that is definitely going to happen because it's not really a if situation at this point, it's a matter of when that will happen. I hope maybe they can kind of find a balance between that. The music was super charming and has hints of motifs, or at least I think that's what it's called, from older Zelda games like Ocarina of Time, and it does its own thing as well. So it has great music because it's a Zelda game and the music is always pretty damn good. But even for something like the ranch that you go to, has a hint of like Lon Lon Ranch. Like it's got like 1 or 2 notes. I was streaming it and me and my chat heard it, and we were like, wait, hold up. We're like, hold up. Do you guys hear that shit? So we ran it back. And yeah, like the music in each place is distinct. It's its own. It's, the Zelda music, but it has a little hint of stuff from the older games. And That's always great, and that essence of Legend of Zelda is always on display throughout the whole game because, of course, it is a Legend of Zelda game, but this was made by GREZZO, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how much of the main Zelda team was a part of it from Nintendo, but it seems like they were pretty hands-on with it because the game is one-to-one. It feels like a Zelda game. Zelda being the pro tag doesn't really change anything. It changes a lot of stuff for the story and maybe the gameplay, but it doesn't change the feeling of the game at all. Not like it should have or would have, or I would have thought that in the first place. It feels exactly like a Zelda game, a top-down game like Link Between Worlds, which Link Between Worlds is an absolutely phenomenal game. On the contrary, though, to talk about some cons here, what does get old is the quest format of going to each corner of the map and doing the temple for that tribe and then going on to the next. Granted, they all have their own like mechanics and their specific area aesthetics, mini story beats and characters, but it does get repetitive by the time you do the fourth temple, which feels reminiscent kind of to like Breath of the Wild or even more so Tears of the Kingdom, and how they're like, okay, here's the 4 areas, the 4 corners of the map, and you go do these things. You can do them in whatever order you want to do, and they kind of play out the same. Like, obviously, like I said, the characters are different, the story beats are a bit different, and you do different shit, but like it all kind of feels the same. And obviously, I know like that's the series at its core. It's like you play a Legend of Zelda game, you expect to go to each temple or each dungeon or each area and whatever, and you get the stone or the piece or the Triforce, whatever the fuck item you're gonna go collect. You grab it, and then you build, you go back in time, or you get the mat, like, right? Like it's all the games are very similar, and I know that's what Zelda is, right? But maybe, I don't know, it feels a bit more prominent in this game, maybe because I'm more aware of it, or maybe because it's literally like, hey, you can go to the bottom left or the top right first, and you can go to the bottom right first or the top left for second, right? And so, because that happened in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, maybe it's more on my mind, because those are the last 2 major Zelda games that released. But I don't know, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, maybe people also think the same, I'm not really sure. I haven't seen that many other reviews for this game, but that is definitely something that I kind of got sick of, where I'm like, damn, I wish we do different things, and we did it does change up, and the game isn't that long, so it's not like you're painstakingly going through these 4 temples, but it's noticeable, and it kind of makes me be like, damn, I wish we it just switched up a bit. And I know it's an open world game, it's like they're doing the best they can. It doesn't make the game bad at all. That is something that was on my mind throughout part of the second half of my playthrough. But yeah, like kind of going off of that, the story's fun. It's kind of like how a usual Zelda game goes. Nothing too different, but a couple, fun surprises here and there that keep you engaged. So, nothing to say that it's bad. It's your run-of-the-mill Zelda story with Zelda as the pro tag, which is great. Once again, I really enjoy that part of that. And being able to make, like smoothies for buffs and health is also really cute. Having different outfits for Zelda that gives you slight boosts, like spinning or your jump height, or even your ability to like talk to cats for side quests is really cool. So I'm glad that they're bringing the outfit stuff back as they did in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I really like that. I hope they keep that for the next Zelda game, whether that's Link or Zelda as the pro tag. The side quests are your average, like, Legend of Zelda side quests, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing at all. They're fun little side stories. You go collect items. You meet returning characters from maybe past games like Dampé, who shows up, or even new ones, like this one dude that looks like Mario. And then also there's the stamp guy, which is like the stamp route. You go collect the stamps. It's just collect-a-thon stuff. But he's really cute. He's funny. The dialogue's great. And it's just something that you're like, oh my god, I am in a new area. I'm in a new area. This is so fun. Let me look out for the stamp guy. Like, it's just stuff like that Zelda games always do. That's always just different and unique for each game, and it just keeps you engaged. But all in all, Echoes of Wisdom is a pretty phenomenal entry into the Legend of Zelda series, and I don't think I could be much happier with how they kind of handle the title lead for our girl Zelda. It feels like home, like it's something that we're used to, but it still creates a new experience that is fun and exciting for old fans like me, which I know I'm not the oldest of fan, I'm only 21, goddammit, but I've been a part of the series for over half my life, and it's also fun for new fans as well, because it's open world, so people who've started with Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, boom, you have a game with Zelda as the pro tag now, and it's also open world, so it kind of keeps that same new formula for the people who just got into it, who really want to stick with that, but it also is fun for old fans who want a maybe more classic feeling, which it definitely does. So I give Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom a must-play for fans of the top-down Zelda games, and I give it a solid 85 out of 100. Either way, thanks for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate it. I know the videos on this channel have been a bit slow streaming and editing stuff for the main channel, and then the second channel doing a bunch of playthroughs. I've also been traveling. School's been getting really busy. I'm on my final year of college, and TikTok, and so it's a lot of stuff, and this channel does get neglected a bit. Also the reviews, I kind of want to I don't want to just spout to the camera. I want to at least have a baseline of what I have to say, so I kind of do a little outline script, nothing crazy, because I don't want to make these super professional, just because that's not what I really am. I just like to yap, and that's why I stream so much. But I appreciate the support on everything recently, whether that's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, main channel, second channel, VODs channel, doesn't matter. It's been absolutely insane, and I can't be more thankful for everything. And so, yeah, I appreciate it. Really look out for my thoughts on FF7 OG, because I finished that, and I'm going to have a review on here. Same thing with Advent Children, as well as my stuff about Part 3 and what I'm looking forward to, Part 3 of the 7 Remake series. Now that I finally played OG, I can talk about it. So that's pretty much it. I think that's what it all says here that I have to say for the ending. So have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and yeah.